Did just update a video I did a while back about a questionable stop, and it has now gone to court. Basically, a cop said he was driving either erratically or reckless, but the cop didn't actually see it. And the case is finally came to court. So basically, this is the court trial, and just give it a watch, and we'll see what happens. If you need to see the whole video, but I think most of it's going to be shown in this trial, so you don't really need to go back and watch the whole thing. But if you do, you can just go to the link in my video and see the whole traffic stop. But like I said, basically, because the cop was coming one way, he was coming another way, but yet the cop said he saw him driving recklessly before he got to the stop sign. But pretty interesting trial, and you will see the outcome and see if this cop was right, and we'll see if this cop was wrong. But you know what to do at the end: like, comment, and definitely subscribe.
Richard Salva, Attorney Hess.
Malika Jones?
Malika Jones.
I didn't hear it anyway.
I want you to represent
Mr. Jones? Huh?
Yes, I am.
What did you say?
I am. I didn't want you to represent me if you didn't get the case dismissed. It's easy. I have body cam dash.
I'd wait until you all finish if you'd like, and then I'll conduct the court's business. So go ahead.
Apparently, he's saying he doesn't want me to represent him, Your Honors. I mean, this is the first conversation we've had. He wasn't here earlier when I called out his name. So is that what you want to proceed pro se?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then raise your hand. Anybody plan to testify? Are you testifying?
Yes, sir.
Then raise your hand.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I do.
Under the Sixth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, you have a right to the assistance of an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, then the state is obligated to appoint you an attorney. You have been appointed an attorney by Recorder's Court, Clerk's Office. You're rejecting and do not accept that appointment, is that true?
Yes, sir. You're right, Your Honor.
And you're ready to proceed without retaining other counsel.
Yes, sir.
Have you had any legal background?
No, sir. But can I pull out my iPad? I have my case notes and everything on my iPad. I wasn't able to print it out because I was at work, but I do have my case notes. I also have the body camera and the dash cam, so I have the evidence to go on with the preliminary.
Do you know how to present evidence in the court?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how to get it into the record?
I would have to do a file, but I actually called to get her off of my case, but they told me it'll be 30 days, and I wanted to kind of go ahead and get this case over it.
You know that you're charged with reckless driving?
Yes, sir. I'm aware that was the allegations.
Driving while license suspended or revoked?
Yes, sir. I understand that is the allegation as well, sir.
And to both you in a plea of not guilty?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the consequences of each?
Yes, sir.
What are the consequences of reckless driving? What could you be sentenced to?
I could be sentenced up to a year, $1,000 fine, and definitely for approximately 7 points on my additional points onto my driver's record.
Let's proceed.
Can I pull out my iPad for my notes, if you don't mind?
Oh, depends on where you're pulling it from.
Oh, it's on the Google Docs, just notes. It's not.
Okay, yeah.
It's just Google Docs.
Your Honor,
I don't want to whip it.
Your Honor, am I excused?
You are excused.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Yes, ma'am. Officer, neither one of you have been sworn. Did you do this?
Yes, sir. We did.
State your name, place of employment, job title.
Yes, sir. I'm Officer Richard Salva with the Chatham County Police Department, and I'm post-certified.
All right. On August 17, 2024 at 05:25 a.m., did you have the occasion to come in contact with this defendant?
Yes, sir, I did.
When you came in contact with the defendant, were you in the course of your employment as a police officer with Chatham County?
Yes, sir, I was.
Were you in uniform?
Yes, sir.
Were you in a county-issued vehicle?
County-issued marked vehicle, yes, sir.
All right. The first charge is you charged him with driving while license suspended or revoked. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
What's the factual basis for that charge?
Based on running him through GCIC, NCIC, he came back suspended. I confirmed that with our records department, that he was suspended, and he came back suspended.
Okay. He was further charged with reckless driving.
Yes, sir. If I can give some backstory to that.
Please.
We had gotten a call for a vehicle in that area driving recklessly with its headlights off. We have a high problem with stolen autos in that area, and then kids driving at a high rate of speed through the neighborhoods. So we had found that vehicle that was driving at a high rate of speed. It crashed into a patrol car. 5 occupants got out on foot and began running. They ran across from Laurel Green Court, across Quaco Road, and into the road where I saw Mr. Jones here. They were running on foot, and then when I saw Mr. Jones, I had all my white takedown lights on, looking for the suspects running. They were all wearing dark clothing. When I witnessed his vehicle driving at what appeared to be a high rate of speed.
And what's the speed limit?
25.
And what is your estimate of the speed he was traveling?
45 to 50, sir.
Was it day or night?
Early morning, about 5 a.m., I believe.
Was it
4 a.m.
daylight at that point or not?
It was dark and not lit.
Could you see him inside the vehicle?
No, sir.
And is this the same vehicle that wrecked?
No, sir.
How did you determine that he was the one driving?
He was driving west on the road, and I was going north. So when he came up to the stop sign that I was approaching, I was able to see straight into his windshield because I had all my white lights on at that time. But it wasn't until after he got closer to my vehicle that I saw him.
And what kind of vehicle was he driving?
It was a black SUV. I don't have the citation with me, sir.
Did you immediately stop him?
I immediately turned my lights and sirens on, and then he stopped, but then proceeded to continue to drive and pull into his driveway because he said he didn't know I was pulling him over.
All righty. You had your body-worn camera?
Yes, and a dash camera.
Did you speak to him?
Yes, sir, I did.
And did you ask him about the incident?
When I approached his vehicle, he had 2 cell phones in his hands, and he did not want to answer any questions. He refused to give his driver's license, and he immediately asked for a supervisor. And the traffic stop did not continue until my supervisor arrived about 30 minutes later. He refused to ID
Okay.
until that point.
The vehicle mounted on your vehicle, the camera mounted on your vehicle, did it pick up any of this incident?
It did not pick up the full span of what I could see with my eyes. It did pick him up approaching the stop sign, but after what I saw.
So it didn't capture the charge?
No, sir, it did not.
Anything else you'd like to offer?
Since that day, he has continued to drive while suspended. I was on a traffic stop on Ogeechee Road after the fact. He pulled up behind me in the emergency lane, started recording my traffic stop. I was not going to discontinue the stop I was on because I had PC to search the car, but I saw him in the car. I ran his record again, and he still came back suspended.
All right. Do you have questions?
Yes, I do have questions for him, Your Honor. Officer Salver, you said that I was going about 30 to 45 miles per hour, that you saw me traveling, correct?
45 to 50 would be my guess, sir.
Can you tell the court your positioning of where you observed my speed going? Like, what direction were you traveling when you saw me speed? When you saw me supposedly speeding, and what direction I was traveling when you observed this supposedly reckless driving?
I was driving northbound, you were driving westbound.
You said you was in the area for a call of what was the description on the vehicle that you had?
It was a black sedan.
The black sedan.
Yes, sir.
And you know the difference between a sedan and an SUV, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you remember telling your first responding officer that you thought that my car was the second suspect for the call that you had in the area?
No, sir, I did not.
You don't? You don't remember saying that on your BWC?
I did not say that. I think you misunderstood, sir.
Okay. Do you also remember telling your supervisor that arrived to the scene that you did not use a speed detection device?
Yes, I did.
And do you remember continue telling everyone that came to the scene that you saw me flying down the street?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what's your definition of flying down the street, sir?
About 45 to 50 miles an hour, sir.
Okay. And you said that I came to a stop sign, correct?
Yes, sir, you did.
So if a car is approaching a stop sign, if they're doing 45 to 55 miles per hour approaching a stop sign, will they be able to stop completely in front of a stop sign?
45 to 50, sir, but you slowed down prior to reaching the stop sign.
And you said your dash cam did not catch everything that you say go with the charges?
My dash camera did not have a wide enough angle to catch you approaching at the speed you were approaching at.
Okay. So you say I was going 45 to 55 miles per hour, and if you charge my client with going 45 to 55 miles an hour in a residential neighborhood, why didn't you mark that on the citation that night? You don't have your citation on you?
Because I wasn't able to obtain your speed.
Do you understand with reckless driving, you have to be able to determine the speed of, one factor is you have to determine the speed. You do know that, correct?
Yes, sir, reckless driving is the reckless disregard for the persons or property.
Was
That
anybody
is,
outside? Did you observe anybody outside?
Yes, the 5 people running from us on foot that I explained to you,
Did you see them outside during the time you see my vehicle traveling up that way?
they were running in the direction that you were coming from.
Did I match the description of anyone that was out on foot that you were in the area looking for?
No, sir, you did not.
Did any of my clothing appear to match their description at all either?
No, sir, you did not.
Then you also said that when my client asked you at the scene, were you in the area for something else and you thought he was connected to it, you said no, correct?
I don't recall saying that.
When your backup officer said that you were in the call for a high alert call, that my car matched the description of the call, did you not say that that call was already disabled?
Yes, that part I
I had
did.
nothing to do with the call.
Yes, you had nothing to do with it.
So why is this traffic stop tied to that CAT report?
It should not be, sir. I didn't put your traffic stop with that CRN.
Sir, you sure?
I did not, yes, sir.
You did not. So how would a traffic stop be tied to that CRN under that CAT report?
I did not tie that traffic stop with the CRN for that crash.
So is that something that commonly happened with Chatham County?
From my knowledge, it's not tied to it, sir.
Are you sure?
I said from my knowledge.
Your knowledge. Okay. Did you say you would be willing to come in court and testify about my speed, correct?
I did.
And did you ever tell me my speed during the traffic stop?
No, because as I stated, I did not obtain your speed.
And for the record, wasn't your probable cause supposedly for the traffic stop was the reckless driving, correct?
Yes, sir, it was.
And not the driving with suspended license, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that was determined after you made the initial stop for reckless driving at a high rate of speed without capturing my speed on the speed detection device, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your Honor, no more further questions.
What do you do?
I do a lot. I'm a longshoreman. I do a lot of things, but
Where'd you go to college?
I did a year's, but Your Honor, this is the second viral traffic stop I've had in the last year with law enforcement, being profiled. Absolutely have nothing to do, and I'm tired of it. I could not let someone come up here and fight for me that does not know the backstory, that does not know why I react the way that I react. I warned this officer when he approached me illegally, and I told him that he could be next, and that video went viral within 2 days. They reached out People reached out to Chatham County, and Chatham County stood behind this officer. This officer is still in our community, profiling people on traffic stops, and I'm tired of it, sir. I'm tired of it.
Let me ask you, is your license suspended?
Your Honor, I can submit this to, I have a limited driving permit that's dated for 8/17, the same day that this citation was given. This is the paper copy. I also have the hard copy in my car that I drive around with. I don't play about my license. I'm a longshoreman. I work off my license. I was also not notified that my license was suspended, and he know that I was not notified that my license was suspended
How does he know that it?
because it was discovered on the stop. He told his supervisor. He even told me, and it's even on DDS, that I was not notified, and I paid super speeder tickets and tickets all up until that moment that my license was suspended. So I was not notified, Your Honor, about my license being suspended. I just got through working 14 hours at Georgia Port off of my driver's license.
So after this incident, you went to DDS?
Yes, sir.
And got your license?
I got a limited driving permit.
After the stop?
Yes, sir.
Let me hear your argument as far as why this is not reckless driving.
Well, my argument, this is not reckless drive, Your Honor, because he did not have probable cause to initiate a traffic stop, because he did not capture my speed with a speed radar detector device to match what he
You don't have to
says.
do that under law.
What he
Do you have
said.
any case law that you researched that say you got to capture it on a speed device? There are a variety of ways you can determine speed.
Georgia courts have ruled that subjective observation without solid evidence, such as speed detection, may not be enough to support a reckless driving. Drake versus State, 221.
Operative word, may not.
Yes, sir.
It's not shall not. See the difference?
Yes, sir.
Did you shepherdize that case?
Sir.
Did you shepherdize that case?
No, sir.
Do you know what shepherd,
No,
to
sir.
shepherdize something means?
No, sir.
Since we've had court system in this country, courts have rendered verdict. It's just like Roe versus Wade was overturned. Up until then, Roe versus Wade was the law. But a year or so ago, it was overturned. So it's no longer the law.
Your Honor, may I also add something?
Sure.
As well as the 5 people running on foot, there was also a lot of parked vehicles on that road, which is the other part to it. It was the disregard for the people that were running on foot, and then the property of all the people with their cars parked on the side of the roadway.
Is there sidewalks in that area?
No, sir, there's not.
Okay. So the county has said by not having sidewalks that they don't expect people walking alongside the road.
Well, the people weren't running. They were running through yards and through the roadways. They were running from the police.
Okay, but how did he endanger them? Even if he was speeding, if they're running through yards and,
They were running north through the yards, and they were crossing the road where he was coming from.
I think your argument fails on that. I agree with your conclusion that the reckless has to be a greater burden as to speed. You just can't guesstimate the speed. There has to be some objective, and the reason is you have to test it. Otherwise, if he said you're going 1,000 miles an hour, then do you just accept that as fact? It's not enough for reckless driving. I'll dismiss the reckless driving. You are guilty of driving on a suspended license. And Do you know why your license was suspended?
That's really funny because I was just looking at my license that Monday, and I was just telling my daughter's nurse that I had 11 points on my license, and come to find out that my license was suspended because of points on my license, but I was not notified, like I said, and I just had paid a ticket, $628.
Technically, you were notified, and let me tell you why you were notified. I can't pull out a gun and shoot him in the head. That'd be murder. Every citizen doesn't have to be advised that I can pull out a gun and shoot Eric in the head. When the law occurs, or when an event occurs pursuant to law, it is so notorious, the law presumes that everybody knows it. You knew it by it being presumed that you knew it. You get me?
Yes, sir.
But realistically, most lawyers don't know the law, so I don't expect to hold you to that high standard. You're right, you got suspended on points. It isn't a specific intent crime. It isn't where the state has to prove that you knowingly did this. No, it's not the case, because most speeders, you don't have to prove that they knowingly, that they had an intent. The intent in traffic has been eliminated. What they have to prove, did you do it? If you did it, legally that amounts to an intent. You've done the best job of any unrepresented person that I've seen, and I've been doing this since 1998. You did the best job. We're going to have a law school come to Georgia Southern. It's going to be about 3 years. You need to think about going to night class, becoming a lawyer. You got the flair, you even bought the ties to look like a lawyer. So think about that. I'm going to let you plead nolo contender. You know what nolo is.
Can we not motion to dismiss and non-cross? Because I don't need another job with suspended license, because if I want to work at the sheriff's department, that's why I was actually looking at my license. That's why this is very vague. I was looking at disqualifications if I want to work at the sheriff's department, and you can't have 7 or more points on your license, so I'm already in the red for that. But also, I wasn't able to volunteer at the juvenile, the RYDC, because I had a suspended license, driving with a suspended license on my record. So that's why this is
How
very
old are you,
important.
30?
I'm 27, sir.
Oh, you're a baby. Go to defensive driving school.
Okay.
They'll give you the information. Come back. December the 17th. If you come back December the 17th, the traffic school will remove, is it 5 points? I'm not sure. Is it? None of my staff knows? Oh, it's a dark, how many points?
7 points.
It'll remove 7? Good God. You interested in a job? No. Come back on December the 17th and at 9 o'clock. We won't need the officer, and we'll finish resolving your case.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
But you want to be a police officer.
I really want to work in law and politics, but I want to be a private investigator because I want to get the dirty cops off the street. But they say I have to do 2 years of law enforcement to be a private
The
investigator.
best way to do that is to become a police officer and work with internal affairs. that is the simplest way to do that. And newsflash, there are less corrupt cops than there are corrupt lawyers, it is. Corrupt doctors who give you medicine because they're in some imaginary study and the pharmaceutical company pays them to prescribe medicine for you. Well, you can do it any way you want to do it. We'll see you back here on December the 17th.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Be safe out there.
Attorney Forsyth has 3 cases. Rudy Butler, RCCR 24-17492. Officer Doyle.
Who got 2 cases?
She has